Well, my name is Diletta. I come from Naples in Italy, but I've studied at university as my undergraduate degree in St Andrews in Scotland.
My name is Patrick McComick. I'm originally from the United States, Alexandria, Virginia. I went to high school in Washington, D.C., and then did my undergraduate work at the University of Notre Dame.
My name is Temba Lewis, and I had a bit of a mixed background before coming to the RSC. I'd done a number of different things. I grew up overseas and had worked and lived in places like Rwanda and Nepal and Indonesia.
My name is Georgia Cole, and I completed the MSc in Refugees and Forced Migration in 2012. I did my undergraduate at Cambridge University in Geography.
Well, I think I was really drawn to the mission of the Refugee Studies Center, this idea of trying to build understanding of the causes and consequences of forced migration in order to help improve the lives of some of the world's most vulnerable people.
The reason why I applied to the course was because I have a long-standing interest in humanitarian affairs, armed conflict, human rights, development. So I felt that the MSc would allow me to delve into much greater depth into those questions than I had been able to in my undergrad.
I like the course as a whole because of the fact that it was so interdisciplinary, so you could really look at the various dimensions of such a complex issue like forced migration. So the more legal dimension, and then political, geopolitical, ethical, and also more anthropological.
I was just reading a quote while revising for exams, that the nature of any society is exposed at its margins. And I was thinking about that in regard to refugees and forced migration, this idea of how are we treating people who don't fit in, who don't belong?
I think that the Refugee Studies Center is really the leader in terms of refugee and forced migration studies. It founded the field in many ways. And the opportunity to study with some of the leaders in that field who have made that mission their life's work, it doesn't really get better than that.
Very quickly you realize that there's so much available through the people that you come into contact with, through the material that you get through the coursework, through the resources and the facilities available at the department.
Going to Geneva was amazing. So we went to UNHCR, we got to talk to a lot of amazing people at UNHCR, we went to IOM, we went to the ICRC.
When it came around to revising and feeling like I really had a handle on it, the emphasis on refugee law is so important, and it's so fascinating, and it completely changed the way that I look at the field.
I would think that my favorite parts of this were the more informal discussions that I had over lunch breaks with colleagues, after seminars with lecturers. It opened up opportunities for conferences and presentations that I was able to have the confidence to participate in.
I think Oxford is a wonderfully bizarre place. I think that the best way that I can capture it. I've loved my time here. I think it's unlike anywhere else in the world.
You know, I don't know if there's a typical day. I think maybe that's one of the really fun parts about being at the Refugee Studies Center, in the sense that I think each new day brings a new experience or a new insight. And I think also, importantly, that can come not only from the courses and from the research, but also from getting to know your own colleagues on the course.
The RSC is such a hub in the field that amazing people come through regularly, so we'd have lots of people sort of pop in to sort of speak for a while, or there might be courses going on in QEH or around the university, so can be quite diverse.
Really, every day you come in contact with a different professor or lecturer. Someone new is visiting the department from UNHCR or from an international organization or another university to speak, and so really no day was the same.
I think where the MSc has really benefited me is that it's provided me the access to in-depth legal training that I've then gone on to pursue further legal training and gone into refugee legal assistance.
I work as a research assistant now on a project on transnational exile.
My experience actually led me to stay in the department so that I could continue doing research on migration and forced migration issues.
Well, right now I'm doing a PhD, so I'm continuing straight after the master's with the same supervisor, and I'm expanding the topic of my master's thesis. So it has contributed very obviously to what I'm doing right now. But in general, I hope, obviously I'm interested in an academic career, but also more broadly to work for think tanks or international organizations. And I think the master and the PhD then are stepping stones towards these goals, yeah.